Never in modern history have we seen a market like this before, and most homes are receiving multiple offers, often well over asking. You can trust that when you hire us, we will market your home correctly and professionally while saving you money. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and I've been a broker for over 18 years and have helped thousands of my clients navigate every type of market, including this one. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Home values are through the roof, with buyers paying way over asking price. You'd love to cash out your home's equity, but you're not quite ready to move, and soaring interest rates make cash out refinancing too expensive. Plus, you'll only get a fraction of your home's equity. It makes no sense. I have a smarter option, Truehold.com. Truehold will buy your home for full cash value, and here's the best part. You get to bank all the cash now and continue living in your home as long as you want. It's life-changing, and Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance, too. Let's review. Truehold pays you 100% of your home's value in cash fast. Use your cash to do everything you've dreamed of: travel, pay off debt, or buy that new right-size home on the golf course. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com for the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's full value without having to move. 855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sundays at 10:15 on Sports Open Line and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show.
I'm excited for not only the club but for the fans. This is a special year for sure.
On KMOX.
All right, you're listening to the show on KMOX. Amy Marks, of course, Chris, Ron G, Kevin Wheeler with you here. And Ron, you brought up a story. Shockingly, you brought up the story about people wanting to work less.
Oh, I don't want to work less.
Really?
Yeah, I would just like an extra day off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, actually, okay, that's true. You know, one does not have to preclude the other.
That's right.
You can work just as much. Yeah?
Yeah, so I used to work at a running store, worked retail, and instead of working 5 days a week, our manager said to the owner, hey, we could work 4 days a week. Not only will you save money because you don't have as many overlapping employees clocking in and clocking out, but we can show up to work 4 days a week. And they switched to that. So we had 10-hour days, 4 days a week.
I mean, that sounds pretty good, actually. Let me think about.
They were long days, but I mean, nurses do it all the time.
I was going to say, I'd trade that in a heartbeat for a day off. Like a day of whatever I want.
Nurses have to do 12-hour shifts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's way more work than you would have to do in this instance. But in the United Kingdom, that's what they're doing right now. They're at least testing out the idea.
Nationwide?
Yeah. Well, there are thousands of workers in the UK that are going to a 4-day work week. It's sort of a trial that's happening right now. And they're trying to find out if people can be just as productive in a 4-day work week. Maybe you work a couple of extra hours in a given day or 1 extra hour or whatever it is. But you get those 3 days off total every week. And you have Friday off or maybe you have Monday off or whatever. Doesn't matter to me. But you get a 3-day weekend. Will people be just as productive if they know looking ahead their week is actually shorter, so you don't have to commute to work an extra day of the week, however long it takes you to get in. Maybe
that's the key word. Maybe
it's 90 minutes you spend in the car every day. Well, you're saving 90 minutes, or it could be even longer. Maybe you're saving a couple of hours.
I think this works if you're going into work. That's the big push versus working from home a 10-hour day. I think going into the office and doing this. And then B, not only has this concept been around, but what's funny is the Wall Street Journal notes that the last major trial took place in Iceland between 2015 and 2019, looking at some public and private sector employees. And they actually lowered the hours to a 35 or 36-hour work week. And I would say if you're doing the experiment in Iceland, it probably doesn't count. It's Iceland.
Why? What's wrong with Iceland?
The worst control group.
Why?
Iceland
seems nice and fun,
but if everyone's like Bjork, it's just not a great control.
Yeah, because we're all cowboys in America.
I'm just saying.
Where's my horse?
I'm just saying. It's like there's a famous political cliche that all bad ideas work for a little while in Sweden, And it's just true.
That seems like a really dumb thing to say.
It's not. It's true.
Really? Somebody proved that's true?
No.
Like I could verify that somewhere?
Any poli-sci or anybody who's in politics would get why that's funny.
I mean, I get why it's funny.
Well,
but
you're
it's
not
no more.
laughing.
It's just no more true than generalizing all Americans.
No, it is. The cultural cohesion of Sweden is unlike America. It's just very different than the United States. It's very different from Canada. At any rate.
So 70 companies, or approximately 70 companies, are partaking in this. It's going to be a 6-month thing, a trial where they try this whole thing out. They're actually not going to be working as much as you typically work. They're going to be working 80% of the hours, and none of them are going to lose pay. So you're getting 100% of the pay for 80% of the work that you're doing, but you get that extra day off. And I guess the hope is that people, because they know they have the extra day off at the end, maybe they're more productive and they work harder in the 4 days they are there because the week doesn't feel as long. And so there's some incentive to do that. I don't know if that's going to be the end result, but I can totally see that working. Like I can see people feeling like, hey, if I don't have to spend that extra time in my commute and I get ready for work and I get that extra day, there's such a great feeling going into work when you have a 4-day work week, right? Like think of how many times like Memorial Day is coming up, or, if you have Labor Day off, if you're one of those people fortunate enough to get that, you're like, man, this is great. I have 4 days. I have a 4-day work week. I got 3 days off. I'm going to be super productive this week. Maybe that's an ideal way to look at it, but I can see that working.
It's definitely a maybe and possibly and all that. But the one thing that I've always thought about with this is all of this is randomly picked set of numbers anyway. Why 40 hours? Why did we decide that? And I know that some of this was negotiated. This was a unions negotiating.
It's negotiation.
I understand, but like we have to understand that there's nothing meaningful about an 8-hour day. There's nothing meaningful about 40 hours. What employers need to do is say, this is the work that I need you to get done in this time frame. And as long as you get that work done, you are now doing what the company needs you to do. But we're in such a habit, and we have been for so long, that it's hours and not production that matters.
We need to clarify, though, when we say we, and when we're talking about an 8-hour workday, we are in general talking about corporate America. These are not nurses hours.
No.
They're not doctors'
Right.
hours. They're not waiters or waitresses. If you own your own company, you can never clock out.
Of course.
If you run a restaurant, I think you're working 90 to 100 hours a week. So it's a very specific set.
But it's a lot of people.
It is a lot.
There are a lot of people that just do the 9 to 5.
So
I've done the 9 to 5 for a lot. If I do that for a lot of years,
9 to 5.
Yeah, and it's fine again if you like the place that you're working. But there are a lot of times I did most of this right out of college, so it wasn't like a career job. It was just like an office job to make money before I got into radio because I was trying to get into radio, and I can't count the number of hours I sat there with nothing to do but looking busy.
Yes,
because
busy
I would get stuff assigned to me and I would finish it, and I'd be like, well, what else? And they're like, well, we don't have anything else.
That's what, have you heard Chris Rock? I think it's Chris Rock talk about the difference between a job and a career. Yeah. He was like, when he was working at Long John Silver, he's like, that was a job. He's like, you've got nothing but time. You scrape the shrimp. You've got nothing but time. With a career, you're always running out of time.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a funny definition, but even, being, self-employed or writing or teaching or tutoring, I never clocked out. I mean, it was constant work. I did so much work between midnight and 3 a.m. because I was trying to get
look at us
done.
as an example. I mean, like you're doing a radio show. You don't have to be
clock out.
You don't have to be somewhere for a specific amount of time except for the 4 hours on the show. But we don't have to be here for 8 hours total to count as a workday. But Amy's right. We are constantly doing that stuff because you
at
have
night
to, because
on the
you
weekends.
Have to. Yeah,
yes.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
And so all of those, the jobs that are the exceptions are already in existence. But we've done that. We've created this kind of artificial space where for certain types of jobs, the only way that it can count is if it's 8 hours a day,
right?
40 hours a week, and 5 days. And it doesn't have to be that. It actually doesn't really make sense to just arbitrarily assign those numbers because then it justifies your presence on the payroll. It should be about the production.
Juliet Shore, who's one of the researchers involved in this project, she's an economist and a sociologist at Boston College. She said the problem with a 5-day week is exactly what you're talking about, that you just simply expand your work to fit the time. So you're required to be at work for 40 hours, that maybe you just kind of take it slow during the week so that you expand the work that you have. Like maybe you actually have 25 hours of real work, but you got to be there for 40. And that there will be just as much productivity if you're only working 80% of the time you're supposed to be there. And I can absolutely see that happening.
Yeah. It's about defining what needs to get done and then getting that done. And by the way, if it takes more than 40, maybe that's a thing too if you sign up for it. So that's the way it rolls. Hey, hang tight. We got a lot more coming your way. It is the show. Amy, Chris, Kevin, here on KMOX.
I ride through the city backsides. I see the stars come out of the sky.
Hello, I'm Ben Coons. Are you concerned about outliving your money? How would you like to have guaranteed growth and a lifetime of income you can never outlive? Join me for my retirement and income radio show right here on Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. You can also call me for your free retirement and income kit and my retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
If you own investment rental properties and you've been thinking about selling, we are very interested. The market is very strong. We've been very aggressive with our offers. So if you own a package of single-family houses that you'd like to sell, or one single-family rental property you'd like to sell, apartments or commercial investment property, please reach out and we can provide you a very simple transaction. Clamengroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, 314-946-9999, 946-9999, buying in Missouri and Illinois.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Paramount Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
For a private consultation at Paramount Men's Medical Center, call 314-720-8081.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 314-720-8081.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
At CDW, we get that even the biggest jobs need to fit on your lap.
It's true. My entire workday happens right here on my lap.
And you can get it done faster with the performance and security of a device configured by CDW and powered by the Built for Business Intel vPro platform.
Nice.
Are you done yet, Mommy?
More time for story time.
An even better use of your lap. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Intel client.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, We've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or CrawfordButts.com.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is hiring commercial and residential technicians and installers. Do you have a technical background? Are you mechanically and or electronically inclined? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis offers a paid training program, company vehicle that you take home, health benefits, competitive pay, starting bonus, and much more. Now hiring commercial and residential technicians. Go to overheaddoorstlouis.com to learn more. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
The power of precision.
That's the power of a skilled local team who know what they're doing.
The power of accurate estimates.
Estimates, not guesstimates.
The power of certainty.
CertaPro painters. That's the power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Hey guys, Glover here for Svedka Vodka Soda. Go to the next level. Replace your go-to cocktail with Svedka Vodka Soda. Canned vodka cocktails made with real vodka, real juice, and sparkling water at 8% ABV. Visit Svedka.com today. Go responsibly.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold BMW. The new all-electric BMWs are here, and it proves that you don't have to be ugly to be electric. Come and drive one of these, and you'll kick your Tesla to the curb. That's Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. The doctors' doctors. They've treated more doctors than any other practice in St. Louis.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers and important decisions should not be based solely on advertising.
Community Living Incorporated is a local nonprofit organization on a mission to provide services and create opportunities for people with disabilities. See how you can get involved at communitylivingmo.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 314-441-4444.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
All right, so this is where we take a look and see what's making news around the world at the moment. Things that are trending. Typically, we can find them on Twitter. They don't have to be, though. You can find them on other news sites if you'd like to. Anything trending in your world, Amy?
Oh, yes.
What's that?
It's Prince's birthday.
Yes, it is.
Prince's birthday.
Yeah.
Still the best Super Bowl halftime show of all time. Prince singing Purple Rain in the rain when it hadn't rained at a Super Bowl halftime show for 50 years ever. I mean, it's an iconic moment. Prince is amazing. I went down a YouTube rabbit hole for hours watching Prince videos, Michael Jackson performances, and Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So of all the ones that you saw,
Mm-hmm.
who was your favorite performer?
Okay, that's a good question. I think of all the performers, the one that stood out just as no one can be this again was Michael Jackson. I still feel like that when he sings, when he dances, the way he moves, his sparkly bedazzled glove, his socks, everything. You can't top Michael Jackson. It's amazing. But Whitney Houston, to me,
Except for all the stuff.
Well, okay, come on, Ranj.
Well, there
Whitney
was all the
Houston, the
stuff.
Super Bowl again, her national anthem.
Yeah, it was good.
The
They
Gulf
used to
War
play
had
that.
just started.
I don't know which stations. I don't remember now. But during that time, I remember that being played on stations over and over again,
Yeah.
just like
Well,
it was a
'cause
song,
the Gulf
like in the
War had
rotation.
it had just started. Also, did
Yeah.
you know it was recorded? She recorded it the day before because she knew it was too big. She couldn't mess it up. And there were other
Oh,
reasons.
yeah. That's right.
What's
so she
trending with
lip-synced.
you?
What's trending with me?
Yeah.
Not Super Bowl halftime shows. I always hate them. Shocking. I know you guys probably.
Yeah, 'cause it's
shocked by that.
never
Although last
Slipknot.
last year was great though. I enjoyed this past.
Oh yeah, that was really good. I loved the stage design.
Yeah.
You had Snoop and Eminem and
I don't know. I still don't know
all
why-
the all
I
the,
still
all the
don't
stuff
know.
that Gen Xers like.
I still don't know why 50 Cent was hanging upside down like a bat.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was an old video, wasn't it? I think
Was
that was
it?
an old video.
Oh, was it in a video?
I
Oh, okay,
think so.
okay. I have not watched videos like music videos probably since I was 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell you something else that's trending?
What's that?
Disney adults.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's right.
I know.
We were talking about that earlier, and I'm assuming that the trend on Twitter that you're talking about is in regard to the couple at Disneyland. It's not?
Not entirely. No, there's all kinds of different stories about it.
Okay. Explain one.
I don't know.
So we're talking about the couple that tried to get engaged and get their photo op at the Disney Paris, and then the Disneyland worker ran over and snatched the ring from his hand before they could do it and get the photo.
So a honeymoon at Disney World doesn't weird you guys out?
I don't.
No, it doesn't weird me. I mean, it's not like it wouldn't be my ideal honeymoon.
No,
I would
me
want to
neither.
do that, but.
And let's take Star Wars out of this, because Disney adults
Star Wars
existed long before the Star Wars world showed up.
And that kind of nerddom is clearly better than the other kind of nerddom.
Well, and it's different because I'm talking about, the Mr. and Mrs. Bride and Groom, the Mickey Mouse ears that you're wearing, the little shirts that are matching. There are a lot of those people out there.
You know what, Amy? Just have some fun.
Okay.
For once in your life. You know what's trending, guys? Orangutans.
Why is that?
Oh, man.
Do not.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What were you going to?
I thought you were going to make a joke about me about being a redhead.
No,
orangutan.
Kevin, I would never do such a thing.
He's not you.
So.
Just because you would do
he
that.
actually is.
Yeah.
This didn't happen here in St. Louis. But just so you know, don't get too close to the primate cages. And I don't think that you can get all that close anyway here at the St. Louis Zoo, one of the finest zoos in the country, by the way. Don't get too close to the primates because they will,
any of the animals,
because some of them,
except for the penguins, then they let you walk around.
Oh, that's fine.
Continue.
We're talking about let's refine this to the bitey ones.
Yes, because some of them are very, very strong.
Yeah,
and they will grab you if you get too close to the cage like this guy did. And I don't know where it is. I'm trying to find it doesn't say where this happened.
It's clearly in a country where the only thing separating you and the animal is
bars.
the cage that they're in.
Yeah,
yes.
It's not like OSHA.
This is not somebody that jumped a fence or whatever. No.
So this guy gets too close to the cage. The monkey, he's not a monkey.
It's an orangutan.
But the orangutan grabs him, pulls him by the shirt, and then grabs his leg and starts biting him.
And it's funny because it's like the orangutan's got the look on his face like, I wish you would.
Yeah,
he's like all
Come
mad.
at
He
me,
was
bro.
mad. No, he
Come
was
at
mad
me.
because the dude before the beginning, he's messing with the orangutan.
Yeah.
He's up there with his hands. He's like doing some stuff. And the orangutan's like, oh, really? You want to play? All right, let's play.
And guess what? Guess who I'm rooting for?
The orangutan. Me
the
too.
monkey.
Yep.
I'm rooting for the monkey.
Every
I'm
time.
rooting for the primate.
I was rooting for the lion a couple of weeks ago. Did you see that? A lion took a guy's finger off.
Oh.
This guy was
and I think we talked about it. Yeah.
Same scenario. Guy is up like right on the cage and he's poking the lion's face. Like, what do you think's going to happen?
You talked about the fingers coming off. I have a question for you guys. Last night on streaming, when you stream a channel live, some of the commercials, I mean, they're different than television, right? And sometimes it's just a break and it said, we're in a commercial break, whatever you're on. And there was a commercial. Now I can't remember what it's for, but like it wasn't Geico or anything like that, but it was a general company. And this guy, they're fishing and he sticks his hand in the water and you hear this ruckus. You're like, oh man. And he pulls his hand out and he has got all of his fingers are severed.
What?
And they show the stumps of his finger and the guy, his friend looks at him and goes, oh man. And he's like, it's cool. And it was so graphic. I thought there's no way they could play this. But this was a regular commercial.
Were they making fun of that?
Well,
is it an insurance commercial?
I know, I can't remember. Now I'm having a mind blank and I can't remember what it was for. But can they be more violent or graphic on streaming commercials than regular TV? I've never seen a commercial
I don't know.
where the fingers were gone.
But you're talking and I'm watching this video again, and it's so funny. I root for the animals 100% of the time. If you're messing with wild animals or animals in captivity, you deserve whatever comes your way.
I feel bad. This lady in Yellowstone Park not that long ago was
told her not to go near these animals.
It's terrible that she died. How do you not know that approaching a bison is a bad idea? It's a wild animal. Would you approach a bull in a pen?
No.
Not unless you're a crazy person, right? I mean, that's what a bison is that. It's a big, muscly, angry animal.
Kind of like Kevin.
Yes, that's you.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Eileen talks about her experience with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
A lot of gross kitchen in the beginning, crack formica, bad floor, ripped linoleum, and I decided to heck with this. I want it done. And I found an ad from 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. I called him. Dave brought all of his stuff. We talked about what I wanted. I chose the materials. It was very easy. He came in, he did what he said. They did it in the time frame that they said, at the cost that they said. His crew was delightful. We came home, everything had been cleaned up. I would say people are silly not to do 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. I just love it. It's just like I moved into a new home.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
This is KMOX, the trusted voice of St. Louis.
An Odyssey station.
Discover something different in St. Genevieve, Missouri. History is big in St. Gen. St. Genevieve features French colonial structures, charming shops, wineries, bed and breakfasts, and restaurants. St. Gen is the home of the world's newest dinosaur discovery. Enjoy a fuel-friendly getaway to St. Genevieve, Missouri, home to one of America's newest national parks. Plan your trip at visitstgen.com. St. Genevieve, where history is just the beginning. Produced in cooperation with the Missouri Division of Tourism.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, we've got a cloudy sky. It's 82 degrees now downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour.
KMOX is covering breaking news.
A St. Louis County jail official is now facing federal criminal charges. Let's go live to the newsroom. KMOX's Maria Kina.
Michael, Tony Weaver Sr. is accused by the U.S. Attorney's Office of pitching a business owner on fraudulently applying for COVID relief funds and then splitting the money. The FBI handed the investigation. According to the indictment, Weaver said, quote, "I hope this place is not bugged. That's how Stinger got caught," unquote. Weaver also said he needed names of the companies involved to give his former boss because she made the decision about relief funds. Weaver used to work for County Councilwoman Rochelle Walton Gray until County Executive Dr. Sam Page appointed him to the top jail job in 2019. Live in the newsroom, Maria Kina, KMOX News.
And he will appear in court at 1 p.m. today. We'll have a reporter there. Bob Onder is withdrawing from the race for county executive against Steve Ellman in St. Charles County.
Dr. Onder went to Facebook to make the announcement, saying, quote, "After lengthy discussion, reflection, and prayer, my wife Allison and I have concluded that it is not in the best interest of our family that I continue the race for St. Charles County executive." He went on to say, "I apologize to those who are disappointed by this decision," end quote. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Pressure grows on lawmakers in D.C. and across the country over the issue of guns as mass shootings plague the country.
Gunshots ring out in Philly Saturday. 3 dead, 11 wounded. One of many mass shootings over the weekend across the country. In Chicago, 5 people were killed, another 28 injured by gunfire. Superintendent David Brown.
How many more acts of senseless mass shootings? I don't know what will get a yes in Congress.
In D.C., a bipartisan group of lawmakers are trying to reach a compromise on gun reform. Speaking yesterday, Republican Senator John Cornyn from Texas, where an 18-year-old killed 21 at an elementary school, said targeted reform is needed.
I will not settle on inadequate or downright harmful legislation for the sake of doing something.
I'm Julie Walker.
The threat level nationwide is and remains incredibly high.
That stark assessment about cybersecurity threats from the new special agent in charge of the FBI St. Louis office, Jay Greenberg.
With every advance in technology, we see criminals adapting their methods to those same advances. And so we would ask every single consumer out there to be vigilant.
He says the best defense for consumers against cyber threats is to always doubt, check it out. If you get a call or an email from someone who says you owe a fine or you're overdrawn, don't return that call. Instead, call your financial institution to check out the claim. The Jefferson Bank and Trust Business Desk, deliveries without a driver.
Self-driving trucks will soon make deliveries to Sam's Club stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The trucks will operate on fixed routes all around the clock, 7 days a week. Walmart also plans to build on the autonomous service it already handles in Arkansas and Louisiana. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel is up 49 points to 32,965. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. We've got some debris on 44 East past Shrewsbury. It's got the 3 left lanes closed, and some debris on 6440 westbound before Clayton Warson. That's got the 3 right lanes closed.
Warm and humid this afternoon with sun and clouds, temperatures up to 85. Couldn't rule out a brief shower, thunder shower popping up, and then it looks like more showers and thunderstorms later tonight into tomorrow morning. Could be a slow commute tomorrow as we'll get up to near 80. Sticky the rest of the afternoon tomorrow. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
And right now we've got clouds and 81 in Florissant, 81 in St. Peter's, 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
12:04 on the show here on KMOX. You can join us. Obviously, you are right here on 1120 AM, 98.7 FM, Facebook.com/KMOX1120 if you want to see the video and obviously hear the programming. You can also get us on the Odyssey app, and you can text us, call us, 314-436-7900. A lot of ways you can jump in. You can also find us on Twitter at the show KMOX.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to run through some of the biggest things we've already covered today, and if there's any news that we will want to throw into the mix, we can. So obviously, early on, we talked about what was we were talking about the story with Dustin Johnson. That's kind of a newsy story with him leaving the PGA Tour. And he's not alone. A bunch of golfers are leaving the PGA Tour to take the big money with the new Saudi-backed tour.
Big money.
Now, here's the thing that I'm going to ask you. This is the only reason this is maybe a 1-minute thing.
Okay.
Where are they going to make all of this money back? If you're giving $125 million to Dustin Johnson, and but again, this is getting to it. Then what's the point? If it's not to make money, then what's the point?
Well, I think there's something to be said for prestige. I mean, when you look at Saudi Arabia and the events that they throw, one of the races, I think it was a month or 2 months ago, I can't keep track of time, but it was a big F1 race, right? It was in Saudi Arabia. There's something to be said for a country. You have the prince, whatever, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, wanting prestigious events and prestigious people in his country participating. So for them,
but this stuff won't be happening in Saudi Arabia. These tournaments are in the United
London
States. They're in London.
Yeah.
Like the next 2 events are London and Portland. Yep.
They never will go?
I don't know that they never will. I'm sure there will be events.
Okay, yes.
It
But
just
it's
seems
like a
like
tour.
But we were hearing all this money, right? Like
Yeah.
$200 million for Phil Mickelson.
That's a good
He
question.
has not officially resigned from the PGA Tour, but the reports are that he is going to. You know, they offered Tiger Woods close to $1 billion, according to these reports.
Yeah.
Where is that all being made back? I mean, would it take years? Because then that's on. By the way, that's on top.
Well, is this
of the purses for the events?
They'll be televised, right?
I'm assuming.
So there has to be
somewhere.
a lot of advertising
Maybe that's
dollars.
Maybe that's it.
Well, it's advertising, and I really, again, with these countries that are not good faith actors, like Saudi Arabia, and in a different way, China, there is a big part of their country and their leaders, whether you have a communist leader or a crown prince, is branding.
No, that's
the
a fair
country's
point.
branding.
Trying to gloss over some of the negative
Yes.
things that people say about you, for sure.
Yeah.
Another story we had was you guys reading the story that was your own worst nightmares.
And mine
The
were
arrested.
Well, yes, and just to clarify, mine were mildew, gum disease, and going to prison for a crime I didn't commit. And this happened.
And then Ranji's is that and big boats.
Yeah,
No. Being in a little boat
next to a big boat.
next to a
If you're
big
standing
boat.
on the shore next to a big boat, you don't care.
No, that kind of
like on the dock. I mean,
I feel intimidated by that too.
But if you're on the big boat,
I feel okay on the big boat, sort of.
He sounds like a kid.
Yeah, I'm a little. I'm sorry, but
it's a big boat, Dad.
I'm afraid of big boats. I'm afraid of big
cannot
boats.
lie. He's afraid of big boats, and he
Oh,
cannot lie. But here's the
Amy.
thing. Here's the thing. The best way to offend a captain of a big boat is to call it a boat. They like you to call it a ship
Or a vessel.
or a vessel.
I think they like if you say vessel. But there was the story about the man in Arizona who spent 17 days in jail because he was traveling and somebody who looked like him had gone into a vaguely looked like him. And this was during the height of the pandemic. And, we're still in it, but it was at the time where
masks and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's all masked up. And this person in the video has like a buzz cut, a military style cut, goes into a store, grabs something, doesn't pay for it. They identify this guy as the guy who did it, but it wasn't him. He wasn't ever there. And then there were 2 warrants issued for him in this county, which he said he had never, I had no idea there were warrants for me. And they had the wrong fella. And this dude had never even been to the county that they were talking about. So he spent 17 days in jail.
And to clarify, too, it wasn't like he got off the plane and the cops were waiting for him. A year, it was exactly 14 months past. He's on vacation with friends in New Mexico on the 4th of July. The neighbors call the cops because they're a little loud, I guess. And so the cops show up, look at everybody, take their names, and discover that this man has 2 warrants out for his arrest. And they arrest him. And as you mentioned, he spent 17 days in jail. And I just have so many questions.
Yeah.
So don't tell me,
my
Kevin,
main
it
one
can't
is-
happen to you.
No, I guess now it can. I told you earlier, I retract my mockery of that as a fear because it obviously has now happened. I did discover, by the way, why the Disney adults is trending.
Okay.
Like the actual story that started this, because all these other stories exist. I mean, they're all real, like the proposal thing and all that. So I'm going to make this short because it's a long post. But a woman posted on social media somewhere her story. She and her husband got married. Well, they're now a husband. They were fiancé, but they were getting married. They had a wedding. And instead of serving food and booze, they paid for a Mickey and a Minnie to be at their wedding for a period of time. And the cost of that meant that they would not be able to afford to provide food and drinks for their guests.
Oh.
And then this turned into apparently some relatives going on Facebook and complaining about it. And this is what started the whole thing. And as far as I'm concerned, simple thing. Number one, it's your wedding. Do what you want. Do it how you want to. But you should probably tell people that in advance.
Oh, they didn't tell them?
I don't know. I don't know if
No
they did or
food
they
and
didn't.
drink?
But I mean, like, if you want to do it whatever way you want, it's your wedding. You do it how you want to do it. But if there's not going to be food or drink, then you have to tell that in, like, put that in the invitation. Hey, eat before you come, because we're not doing that.
I think I hate these people. And the reason I do is because you're asking people to commit their
And they
time
were,
to
by
come
the way,
to your wedding.
they were warned. They were told there would not be food or drink.
Fine. And most people should have, like, and if they would have had guests who said, I'm not coming because of that, fine. Can't be mad at it. Because you want me to show up, bring you a gift, celebrate your day for you, and you're not even going to give me food?
How much are Mickey and Minnie charging?
It was a lot. They said it cost them almost $3,000.
Was this the real Mickey and Minnie?
I don't know the like how you go about that. I don't think.
Okay, this is how I view it. If this couple had a regular wedding and Disney said, we'll pay you $5,000 to have Mickey and Minnie at your wedding, I would still be like, weird.
If they paid you.
Yes, it's your wedding. If Disney offered to pay me $5,000 to have Mickey and Minnie at my wedding, I'd But no, it's my wedding.
I would take it.
Right. Your wedding should be what you want it to be.
Hey, I would take Mickey and Minnie showing up. It's a
knew-
$5,000 value.
I might do that too, but I
I'll
mean,
take
like,
it. What the heck?
a lot of people do different type, like destination weddings
Yeah.
or party weddings, or
That's just to filter out the riffraff.
I'm not paying for it. That's what that is.
It's not a bad
That's
point.
exactly what that
That's
is.
what I would do. I would just pick a really awkward place to get to and go, we got to filter out the riffraff.
This seems
here.
like a move to filter out the riffraff too. They're probably thinking, no one's going to come to my wedding because
Never
there's
know.
no food, no booze, and I'm going to then
like I
have
said, you can always
Disney characters all over.
decline. You don't have to go.
That's a wedding. If you know how a lot of weddings don't want kids, if you wanted kids only, you could say no alcohol, but Mickey and Minnie will be there.
Are you a jerk if you say no to your friend's wedding because they're not going to provide any food or beverage or anything, but they're going to have Disney characters there instead?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
You can do it that way.
agree.
And we're going to talk to Colonel Jeff McCausland, get an update on Ukraine coming up next here on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
She was a force of nature. He got swept up. Join Opera Theater of St. Louis for its 2022 festival season, which opens with an all-new production of Bizet's iconic opera, Carmen. Sparks fly when the beautiful Carmen meets the young soldier Don Jose, and they quickly begin a passionate affair. Jose is ready to sacrifice everything for Carmen, but when Carmen leaves him for the bullfighter Escamillo, a tangled web of lust and obsession play out to fatal effect. This timeless tale of seduction, individuality, and betrayal features some of the most beloved melodies in all of classical music. The 2022 festival season also features Mozart's whimsical fairy tale, The Magic Flute, and 2 world premiere operas, Awakenings, based on the true story of Dr. Oliver Sacks, and a new performing edition of Harvey Milk, inspired by the life and death of the gay civil rights icon. Tickets start at just $25. Learn more at experienceopera.org.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold Toyota. If you're worried about gas prices, Toyota has the most models of hybrid electrics in the industry. From the best-selling Camry to the best-selling RAV4, we've got it all. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters. We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
McKnight Place Assisted Living and Memory Care. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years. Features luxury accommodations and exceptional service. At McKnight Place, residents enjoy spacious apartments, walking paths through lush gardens, fine dining, engaging activities, and more. As a trusted expert in senior living, they are there for you and your family. Questions? Concerns? Call McKnight Place at 314-993-3333 or visit McKnightPlace.com.
The air season coming upon us, and it's $89 to have us come out and make sure the best we can that you're set for summer. I cannot predict how long your furnace or air conditioner will last. If I could, I would be making this commercial from the Caribbean, and I would have billions of dollars. So I can't do that. But what I can do is we can make sure your system is clean, your filters changed, it's in the best working order. If there's a part that might be failing, we can let you know that and give you a price on that. We will not come in at $89 and try to sell you a brand new system. I do promise you that. So call me. It's really one easy number, and it is one number just for Missouri and Illinois. There's only one Bart Inman, and that is the number 314-293-2600. Again, Bart Inman, Bart with a B, Inman with an I, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com.
Work or play, KMOX is right there with you. We go where you go.
All right, you're back in on the show. We are happy to have Colonel Jeff McCausland back with us again today. And we had the Colonel on yesterday to talk about D-Day, and we were planning on getting into some of the current events with Ukraine as well. Didn't have the time to do that yesterday, but the Colonel kind enough to join us again today to dive into some of the news there. So what is the general picture looking like when it comes to Ukraine right now, Colonel? I'm seeing stories about some progress that the Russians have made, but I'm also seeing things about how this is still going to set them back 10 years as they go along. How has this changed, would you say, in the last, say, couple of weeks?
Well, it's changed. I think it's moved in two directions. One towards basically a stalemate, and the second has become more of an artillery war. Let me expand on that. We know the Russians failed in their early attempts to capture the capital, Kyiv, to secure the second largest, Kharkiv, northeastern part of the country. So when that occurred, I think they downsized their objectives and are now focusing on controlling the Donbass, this portion of southeastern Ukraine, comprised by two provinces, Donetsk and Luhansk. And that's where they've been concentrating their efforts at this particular moment. We've got a lot of heavy fighting going on around Severodonetsk, which is the last major city in Luhansk that is not under a Russian control. Heavy fighting in that city right now. It seems to be the Russians will take some ground. The Ukrainians will push them back. That's occurred over the last few hours. And how this turns out, I think, will determine to some degree whether the Russians are going to be successful in controlling that Donbass region. But literally, in many ways, the front is kind of stabilized, and they stay that way for some period of time, a 600-mile front now from up in the vicinity of Kharkiv in the northeastern part of the country down to the Sea of Azov and then along a strip of ground that the Russians have secured along the Sea of Azov. And that's why artillery is becoming more important on both sides, as the Russians use mass artillery to kind of pulverize targets and then try to gain ground in kind of a grinding out war, which is what's occurring.
Well, and that was going to be my question. As this conflict turns into a war of attrition, does that give Ukraine more hope for fighting off the Russians and that they eventually pull back? Or will this play in favor of Russia, which has more force and resources?
Yeah, I think it'll depend on the Ukrainians' ability to maintain the stiff resilience and willpower they've demonstrated on the one hand. And second of all, it'll depend on the West's ability to maintain a unity of effort in providing them the military equipment they're going to need now and in the future for that particular effort. And that's not only the provision of military equipment, but a lot of concern now as we provide them more sophisticated military equipment. How quickly can we train to use that equipment so it can rapidly be, if you will, absorbed into their military systems and as a consequence have an impact on the battlefield. On the Russian side, I think more and more they're going to be in a more and more weakening position for two reasons. One, they're taking severe casualties. We believe they may have lost up to 25,000 killed in action and probably twice that many wounded. So roughly 1/4 or more of the initial invasion force they used on 24 February is now combat ineffective. And that's a huge manpower loss for them. And then secondly, even though they've weathered the storm of economic sanctions, I think fairly well for the first 100 days, there's clear evidence that that strain is going to put more and more of an impact on the average Russian citizen, as well as making it more and more difficult for them to recoup those weapon systems they've lost because they depend on a lot of imports of microchips and the like, particularly for sophisticated weaponry.
When we're talking about a conflict like this that is drawn out, there's the side of weaponry and forces, but what role will privation play in this, specifically for the Ukrainian people?
Privation, did you say?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we've got, at this moment, estimates are somewhere around 6 million or more Ukrainians or refugees outside the country. About 80 to 90% of those people are women, elderly, and children. And then you got 7.5 million or more Ukrainians who are displaced people inside Ukraine, which means about 1/3 of the entire population of Ukraine have been pushed out of their homes. This is a dramatic humanitarian disaster. Half of all children in Ukraine are homeless right now. And so the humanitarian disaster for the Ukraine is huge. And this has a secondary economic effect on the country in that there are estimates the GDP of Ukraine will shrink by 45% in the coming year, potentially plunging, thousands and thousands of people into poverty. So not only is Ukraine going to need significant military aid to prosecute the war, it's going to need significant Western economic aid to stabilize the economy in light of those particular conditions.
Yesterday, the President Zelensky visited a frontline position and, visited troops and whatnot. When something like that happens, how important is it in terms of morale or in, strategically, whatever it may be, when a person of his stature visits a frontline position?
No, it's huge. I mean, Napoleon Bonaparte, many years ago, once said the moral is to the physical is 3:1. And by any calculation, the Russians would outgun the Ukrainians in terms of number of weapons, modern weapons, manpower, etc. But they have not been successful, and I think it's largely been to the morale of the Ukrainian people. And Zelensky has been a key ingredient in raising Ukrainian nationalism, populism, bringing the nation together. And anyone who watches this war, just examine Mr. Zelensky and examine Mr. Putin, and you ask them, who would you rather follow? I think it's pretty easy for anybody to answer that particular question. It would be Zelensky, the guy who's out there, the guy who's suffering the same deprivation as his population, who is weathering the danger, who's going to the front lines, as opposed to Mr. Putin, sitting at the end of a long table, 20 feet. The general looks like a minion or someone who's been called in after school because they got in trouble. Hardly inspiring for that individual, hardly inspiring for the Russian people as a whole.
So if we look at the bigger picture here, too, I mean, clearly this is a conflict there, and you mentioned the refugees and the impact this is having on the families there, and certainly families in Russia, too. But, they're obviously the aggressors here. But this is also having big effects on the world's food supply. Ukraine provides a lot of grain for the world. So again, how do all of the rest of us, the rest of the countries that have worked together on sanctions, for example, work to improve that, or can you?
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult proposition. There are estimates that about 20 million tons of grain are held up in Ukrainian ports. We've had reports that the Russians may be looting a lot of that grain in areas they've occupied and maybe trying to sell that after they've stolen it on the international market. But unfortunately, I fear that unless this problem is solved quickly, we're going to see countries, think of Yemen, think of Afghanistan, think of Syria, think of Lebanon, that are going to suffer enormous deprivation in food. And we may see starvation in some of those countries. And we'll also potentially see social unrest in countries, particularly in North Africa or Africa, that have fragile governance to begin with, as they face more and more challenges of foodstuffs, where you're watching the price of wheat is going to increase dramatically. Now, there have been calls by some for NATO to use NATO military force, particularly the Navy, to go into the Black Sea to escort Ukrainian vessels out of those ports so that can be distributed. Quite frankly, at the moment, I doubt very seriously that NATO is going to agree to do that. Furthermore, even if we were able to do that, our challenge is going to be that a significant portion of the Ukraine, which was so important to provide wheat and other stocks around the world, will not produce anything this year because those fields are lying fallow. They're full of landmines. There's no manpower to do the agriculture. So we're going to see a deprivation in terms of foodstuffs that may last for several years.
And we've looked at the war crimes that are being committed, and for Putin to be held responsible for that. In general, a country or a leader needs to be vanquished. If there is a negotiated peace, then those war crimes, often tend to be dismissed. So if there is a negotiated peace here, how do you see Putin standing in the global community shaking out?
Well, I think Mr. Putin for the rest of his life is going to be a global pariah. I mean, he was counting on this war being over quickly, and there might be a temporary storm, but he and Russia would recoup that pretty fast, and that has not happened. I don't expect that to happen anytime in the future. And it's going to make for a very difficult proposition in terms of, frankly, a new emerging international security environment. And I think really what we're seeing is the end of the international security architecture that we had at the end of the Cold War in terms of structure. And we're going to have to create a whole new structure to accommodate, because as long as Mr. Putin is in power, Russia as a state and he as an individual are going to remain isolated.
Colonel, we really appreciate your expertise and your willingness to put up with us back-to-back days. Thank you so much for the information.
My pleasure.
You got it. That's Colonel Jeff McCausland. He is CBS Radio's national security consultant. His book is called Battle Tested, which is phenomenal. And you obviously can find it anywhere. I think it's by Simon & Schuster. We'll come back and keep things rolling. You're listening to Amy Marks Course, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler here on the show.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
Those who've built their own financial success know that moving forward requires not just the right tools, but an in-depth knowledge of how to use them. That's why Edelman Financial Engines gives you a dedicated wealth planner supported by a team of experts. We know a modern wealth planning relationship demands human insight powered by advanced technology. Our advice is tailor-made for your personal goals, and our investment management approach is based on Nobel Prize-winning research. We model more than 38,000 securities, so we can better stress test your portfolio through thousands of scenarios. See what we can build for you. Call 888-899-4450. That's 888-899-4450. Or visit efewealthplanners.com to get your complimentary financial plan. Edelman Financial Engines. Built for those who built themselves.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
At 12:30, we've got some clouds and 83 degrees downtown at the Arch. Another government official is facing an indictment, this time in St. Louis County. KMOX's Maria Kina is following this developing story.
Anthony Weaver Sr. faces 4 federal counts of devising a scheme to obtain grants from the Small Business Relief Program, which was funded with CARES Act money for a local businessman in exchange for a part of the proceeds. The allegations date back to May of 2020. Weaver worked for former County Councilwoman Rochelle Walton Gray, and after Gray lost re-election, Weaver was hired as Change Management Coordinator at the St. Louis County Jail. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
The county executive's office sent a statement to KMOX News. It reads in part, quote, Tony Weaver was fired today. The controls put in place by Dr. Page's administration for the distribution of federal funds prevented any theft of taxpayer funds, and the indictments are not related to work he was doing for the county executive in justice services, end quote. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen faced a grilling on Capitol Hill today about the health of the American economy.
I think that bringing inflation down should be our number one priority. And President Biden, in an op-ed on inflation in recent remarks, has indicated that it is our top priority.
Treasury and the Federal Reserve have been increasingly blamed by legislators and the public for allowing inflation to reach record highs, notably an 8.3% leap in consumer prices over the past year. We've got a stall 170 northbound before the airport. That's on the right shoulder. A crash 70 west past Lindbergh in the right lane. Some debris on Manchester Road eastbound past Barrett Station. That's actually been cleared, the debris Manchester East past Barrett Station. Weather sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The rest of today, a mix of sun and clouds with a high 84. Mostly cloudy overnight, the low 68 with a shower thunderstorm toward daybreak. Tomorrow, some showers and a thunderstorm early and some downpours possible, but breezy and sticky for the rest of the day with a high tomorrow near 80. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is your premier provider of fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and more. Call them for a free estimate today. Now offering 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. 83 degrees at the moment downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Don't buy plastic toys for your pet. Instead, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman at ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy houses direct. If you're thinking about selling, but you're not sure where you're going to go after you sign a contract with a buyer, if you sell to us, we can provide a flexible closing date for you. And once we've written a contract, we can actually adjust the closing date if you need to move it up or you need to move it back at any time. Find us at ClaymanGroup.com and simplify your sale by closing on your timeline. KLAMEN Group.com.
Soaring inflation, rising interest rates, stock market volatility, and higher taxes. How will these unprecedented challenges impact you and your retirement? Find out in a one-night adult education class, Retirement 101. It's taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects, one of the largest advisory firms in St. Louis. In just 3 hours, you'll learn how to overcome the unprecedented challenges facing the next wave of retirees. The strategies discussed are best suited for people who have at least $300,000 for retirement. And if you call today, your tuition fee is waived. To register, call 314-626-8817. Learn from a fiduciary advisor with decades of financial planning experience. Register now by calling 314-626-8817. 314-626-8817.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
Tonight, the Cards, the Rays. Ameren pregame show 5:15. First pitch 6:10 on KMOX and streaming on KMOX.com.
The pitch by Ueno. Albert is hit high and deep. A home run for Harrison Bader. Yadier Molina has homered. Double play. It's a big fly for Albert Pujols. A home run in the first inning for Goldie.
This is the Redbirds Report.
All right, time for our Redbird Report. Cardinals getting underway tonight. New series, taking on the Rays. They're called the Tampa Rays, but they play in St. Petersburg. Because I guess it's a little easier to say Tampa than St. Petersburg Rays.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not actually in the Bay, so you can't call them Tampa Bay
I've always
Rays.
wondered why that became that way for the football teams, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They don't call them the Tampa Bay Rays. It's the Tampa Rays.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, Tampa Bay Rays doesn't flow.
It's too many
Tampa
A's
Bay
back.
Rays.
Yeah, it's too much. Oh, actually,
Bay
no.
Rays.
Actually, I'm wrong. I'm looking at it on the website. It says Tampa Bay Rays. So
See, well,
I am wrong.
Never mind.
Either way, they play in St. Petersburg, but they play the Cardinals tonight. Dakota Hudson's going to start for the Cardinals. Looks like the Rays are going with Jeffrey Springs. It's not really, quote unquote, a technical opener, but it's kind of like an extended opener. He'll probably go a few innings. But an interesting matchup with these two teams. And obviously what we're waiting on now is to get some updates on health, right? We talked about Jack Flaherty yesterday, and he threw 30 pitches the other day, and struck out 3, got 9 outs on 30 pitches. And now we're waiting to see what's up with Tyler O'Neill and Dylan Carlson. And what I'll be interested to see, Raj, is what happens with the lineup when those guys are back. I mean, you've got kids occupying spots now. Donovan's been playing right field pretty regularly now that Nolan Gorman's up and Edmonds playing shortstop. You've had Juan Yepes getting a good bit of time in the outfield. And I wonder who goes when they come back. I mean, is it goodbye to Corey Dickerson? I would assume that Lars Nootbaar is probably going back down because he's not playing very much. Maybe interesting.
It's what they call the old cliche, Kevin. It's a good problem to have because it's a team that right now, even with some of the absences, with O'Neill's absence, is a top 5 in baseball offense. And I know we've talked about this before where there might be it looks good runs per game overall, but there are some games where there's nothing.
It's been erratic.
Yeah, you're going to get some 9-10 run games and then some others where you score like 1 or 2. But overall, it's a team that is scoring a lot of runs. And there are only 4 other teams in baseball that have been better at it. The Yankees, the Astros, the Dodgers, and the Mets. So at least they are in good position offensively. But the thing that really is going to help them out is getting healthier in the rotation. They'll be in great shape if they could stay that way for the majority of the rest of the year.
Watching a team play over the course of time is fascinating because, there are various periods of time where you're like, again, you look at the overall stats and you're like, wow, that's a really good offensive team.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, how do you then have a record that was for a while was less than what you want? I think right now you're basically on the kind of pace that I think we would have all anticipated, right? I mean, they've won 7 of the last 10. And, when you look at kind of where they are, they're a half game out. So, the Cardinals could be in first place tonight. If they win and the Brewers lose, they could be in first place tonight. And I would say that with all of what's gone on, to be on a 94-win pace right now, which is what they're on today, they're on a pace for 94 wins. I'd say that's not bad when you haven't had a single inning from Jack Flaherty, when you didn't get anything at all really from Tyler O'Neill before he got hurt, and then since then he's been hurt. You've not exactly had a smooth go of it. You lost Steven Matz to the injured list. You've had all kinds of issues with some of your starters not getting deep enough into games, and it's wearing on the pen. And you've got kids doing the job on offense, and it's not been the team you hoped it would be when you started spring training. Yet you're still on a 94-win pace.
How many years now has it been with Jack Flaherty kind of struggling with some injuries?
Going on 3 now.
I was gonna say 3.
Yeah. I mean, it's the last 2 where the shoulder has been a bit of an issue. And it's not.
So for a pitcher, when you have several years strung together like this, how hard is it to come back? And I'll throw this out there. It's hockey, but Vladimir Tarasenko, there were a lot of questions with him with his shoulders where, honest to goodness, I thought multiple times, man, I think he might be
according
done.
to him, and it turns out he may have been right, but he's saying that there was something wrong with those previous surgeries. Right? Because they had to do it again. So that some of it, but it's a good point. And shoulders are really tricky.
Really tricky.
It doesn't matter if it's hockey, football, baseball, whatever. Although it's worst for pitchers because everything happens there. That's the part where your damage is going to be done, even if you are okay.
I don't know if this is a bigger deal or a less of a big deal, but you look at a guy like Robbie Fabry, young, so much talent, blows out his knee again. I think he did it a 3rd time. And you're starting to think this might be the trajectory that he'll never get out of this rut that he's in of injuries. And obviously Tarasenko, look at him. He excelled. So with Flaherty, is it, okay, man, as a young pitcher, he's got a few more years to try to get out of this?
Yeah, he's got time. So let's look at it this way.
But it's fair to be concerned about it.
Always. Yeah.
You can be concerned about any pitcher in terms of injury because it's, it seems to happen to most of them, if not all of them, at some point in their careers. But it is okay to look at Flaherty and realize that it's been weird. COVID happened, and then it's difficult to ask a person to then try to build up and throw a bunch of innings the following year, which you can't do because you're coming off of injury. That does happen, but it's still, you can say he's got plenty of time, which he does.
Yeah, he's 26.
To put together a good career. He's 26 years old. He's got time to put together a nice career, but you'd also be right to, at least in the back of your mind, be conscious of the fact that maybe this is just kind of what's going to happen to him. And I hope not. And certainly for their sake, I hope not. But, and for his, probably especially for him, because he was so promising and is so promising when we get to see him pitch.
Yeah, he's the best pitcher on the team when he's healthy.
Yep.
And the key part there is the when he's healthy, because, 2019 he was, 2020 was a shortened season, but it was even shorter for him. They took real care of him, and then there was some minor injury. And then, of course, last year missed half the season. This year looks like he's on track to miss almost half the season because even if he comes back in 2 or 3 weeks, That's still almost half the season by the time we get to that. And he's a free agent in 2 years. He's got. I believe he's a free agent in 2024. So less than 2 years. So there's not that much time for him to do it. But this similar stuff. It wasn't a shoulder. It was injuries though that made it look like Adam Wainwright was finished there. When we talked to him about it, he told us, I quit. That's how bad it was. And he did that literally a decade older than what Flaherty is right now. He came back from it and turned it around. So that's more unlikely than Flaherty just being Flaherty again. But it's always, always scary when you're dealing with anything at or around the shoulder.
How does this make you view, and I just like injuries in general? And one, I have so much respect for Adam Wainwright and how he's been able to have that durability to continue as long as he had and to be good at what he's doing. But what was that statistic, Wheels, that you threw out yesterday about Bob Gibson?
Oh my God, I tweeted this yesterday. Do you see this? So I got, and I'm going to have to find it because, look at that. It's right at the top of my replies because everybody likes this one. So Super 70 Sports tweeted out the other day, Bob Gibson's June-July stats. So 2 months of stats from 1968. 12 starts, 12 complete games, 12 wins, 8 shutouts, 6 runs allowed.
6 runs.
And then the tag they put on there was 0 worries about his pitch count, which was true. But like, that's so amazing. And then it's just obviously they were trained differently. They were taught to throw a lot and to throw longer and to throw more pitches and not throw with as much effort.
And they also didn't grow up playing all year long either.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
but in a different way though. Like, I don't know. So my brother, when he was younger, I think maybe 11, he had a kid on his team, also 11, who quit baseball because he was burned out at 11 because he had 86 games or something over the summer.
See, there are a lot, and you know this, Kevin, there are a lot of older players, guys who are retired, who talk about that thing. Like when they were growing up, we played 3-4 months of the year. We didn't play 9 months out of the year or 12 months out of the year. And it's good for you to go play other stuff. Play baseball for 3 months, go play basketball for 3 months, do other things. It's better for you as an athlete.
You're not wrong about that. That is absolutely true.
And you don't put the miles on your arm.
It's not what they do in the Dominican. It's not what they do in Cuba. And they don't seem to have any more injuries than anybody else. They just play baseball year round. All year round, every year.
Pierre Turgeon played in the Little League World Series and they won when he was a kid. I was just seeing hockey players playing baseball.
I'm like, did I miss a connection there?
You didn't miss anything. I was thinking of athletes playing other sports.
Yeah, they should. I mean, you really should play as many
Chris
as you
Drury.
can. Yeah.
Robert Bortuzzo.
Okay. We're
Carter
dropping
Hutton.
names. That's Chris Ranji dropping names. Amy Marks, of course, dropping names. I'm Kevin Wheeler saying we got to take a quick break here on the show.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
This is Corey with Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. You know how everybody says it's not the heat, it's the humidity? Carrier's Infinity HVAC equipment regulates the humidity in your home from wherever you are through the Infinity Smart Controller. Contact Air Comfort Service for a free estimate on a new air conditioner or HVAC system that's so quiet you won't even know it's running and gives you energy efficiency and comfort that can't be matched. Through May 28th, save $50 to $2,150 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates on qualifying equipment. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Here's another satisfied customer of 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, Anita Bennett.
When I first heard about 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, I thought, there's no way they could do a good job in 3 days, and they must carry only the plain Jane basics in cabinets, countertops, and flooring. Then they came to our house and we found out they offered top quality materials with tons of choices and lots of custom options. They worked with us to design a bathroom that was perfect for our family. They looked at our needs and thought of details I hadn't even considered. The installation was clean, thorough, and professional, and they were done in just 3 days. When we got back from the hotel, I couldn't believe the difference. The bathroom is beautiful.
See us on the web at 3daykitchen.com.
It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
Hey, St. Louis, I want to have an honest conversation about real estate. Never in modern history have we seen a market like this before, and most homes are receiving multiple offers, often well over asking. You can trust that when you hire us, we will market your home correctly and professionally while saving you money. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and I've been a broker for over 18 years and have helped thousands of my clients navigate every type of market, including this one. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Our national debt is now over $30 trillion, an increase of over 20% in just the past 2 years. I'm sure you've been told at some point that taxes will be lower when you retire, but do you truly believe that? Now is the time to begin planning for the future of tax increases. Is your financial advisor helping you with tax planning for a tax-efficient future? If not, this is the time to call me, Ken Heisey, at Heisey Advisory Group, 314-328-4400. If you're like most people, you have a portfolio of investments, but a portfolio is not a plan. How have you planned for the potential legislative risk of increased taxes? Call Heisey Advisory Group now and let us help you create a plan to reduce the tax risk in your retirement. Call 314-328-4400, 314-328-4400.
Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. This year, Banner Construction is working on the back deck at the Brennan household, and this now marks the 6th time on over 2 different homes that Banner has helped the Brennan household, and they can help you too if you give them a call at 314-569-1050. If you'd like your home to be the neighborhood showcase, or if you just have an exterior renovation that needs some serious attention, Banner Construction has the equipment and the craftsmen with more than 25 years of experience. They also carry the top products, including that James Hardy fiber cement siding. Banner is a James Hardy elite preferred contractor, and that James Hardy siding has the rich look and feel of wood. That's why it's preferred by so many luxury home builders. Then there are those Pella Windows. Believe it or not, they come with a 30-year guarantee. No other product or service offers that. And Banner is a platinum certified Pella window contractor. That's Banner Construction at bannerconstruction.com.
Men suffering from ED or PE, Paramount Men's Medical Center is featuring Restore Wave, the latest in non-invasive ED treatment. You'll see results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
The annual Swing for Kids golf tournament at Lake Forest Country Club is Monday, August 8th. Find out more information or register your at communitylivingmo.org/golf.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444. They're back.
Three best friends.
Right.
The three amigos.
Yeah. Kevin, Chris, and Amy. The show.
Chris, Ron, Jamie, Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here on the show on KMOX.
Okay.
Who picked the music topic? Was that you, Amy? Or was that Ranj?
I think it was our illustrious producer, Dave.
Dave had this topic.
It's
I'm
really
sorry.
interesting, though.
Good job, producer Dave.
The University of Cambridge did a study of over 350,000 participants in 50 different countries. And what they found was there are patterns between music and personality, meaning certain personalities like certain types of music. And it doesn't matter where you are, these patterns of certain personalities liking certain types of music are replicated across the globe. I'll give you a couple of examples. Ed Sheeran's song Shivers, that song appeals to extroverts, while, quote, neurotic types are likely to be in Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit. Agreeable people like Marvin Gaye's What's Going On or Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper's Shallow. And also, if you are a conscientious individual, you are unlikely to enjoy Rage Against the Machine.
If you are a what?
A conscientious individual.
That is interesting.
So personalities, it says you can be divided by geography, you can be divided by language and by culture, but introverts or extroverts or neurotic people tend to like the same types of music across the globe.
So is the effect coming from the lyrics or the way the music sounds or all of it?
Probably a little bit of all of it, and I would
Okay.
say probably a lot of the way the music sounds, because I'm assuming that not everybody was speaking English when you're talking about Smells Like Teen Spirit.
A lot of people are around the world are bilingual and learn
are.
English.
No,
and
they
we don't
I
learn
know about
anything
you.
else.
I mean, I will speak to this though. Like, very rarely are the lyrics the selling point to me.
It starts with how does it sound?
It's entirely the sound. And
yeah.
now I do end up appreciating good lyrics.
Oh my
if
gosh.
there's a song that I like. But I mean, I won't be like, wow, that's a brilliant set of lyrics. And if I hate the song, I hate the song.
To me, it's the same idea as being attracted to a person. You see them first most of the time. I mean, sometimes you might meet somebody, I don't know, you're a pen pal with somebody in jail. I don't know. Whatever it is. But you don't know what they look like. You just know they're in jail.
This has totally not happened to me. But
Like, I've never had a pen pal in jail that
But I
I've
mean, in case.
started a relationship with after
Yeah.
she got out. That never happened. But, maybe usually it's a thing where you see somebody and they appeal to you in a way. Then you get to know them and the way they speak and the thoughts they have and the kind of person they are. I think that's the same as hearing the music and then hearing the lyrics later.
Yeah. So I can't do like heavy, intense music, like heavy metal, or is it EDM that's like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really
Dance music,
loud and
yeah.
intense. And it's funny because I go on road trips, and one of my friends that I do the road trips with, she likes EDM, and I'm a pretty easygoing person, but when it comes to, she likes 9 Inch Nails, that, and then also EDM music and heavier stuff.
So industrial. And
I don't know. All I know is I have to put my foot down. I'm generally anti-confrontational, and I say I cannot do it. This is an absolute no-go for me. So what they found is,
did they decide who likes heavy metal?
yes, conscientious individuals, people who favor order and obedience, do not like aggressive, rebellious themes or music.
That tracks.
Yeah, that
which
sounds
is
about
kind
right.
of like me, because I'm
I'm certainly not
so
orderly.
conscientious. Where I'm trying to find the correlation. Let me find your angry demeanor.
Yeah,
and
what are the
metal.
Slipknot people all about?
I know. All right, I'm finding.
We're
that.
about up with people.
Up with people.
It was a joke.
What is that?
What is up with people?
It
Well,
was
I
a
don't know.
Super Bowl halftime show that's one of the most hilarious and terrible things ever to happen with music.
I have no idea what you're
I have no
talking
idea.
You'll
about.
Google it. I can't
Up
believe
with
you guys
people?
don't know. Yeah. Especially you, Raj. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Totally disappointed in you.
I'm so sorry.
It seems like people who are neurotic. I think that's what it's saying. Like heavy, intense music.
That's interesting.
That's weird because
What
I'm
about-
totally not that. Like that is definitely not me.
Yeah.
I think you get most of your rage out just by listening to certain music. Like, I think it's a release for you. Slipknot is a release for you.
It's
That's
also
what it
amazing.
says. It says they're still studying whether it's a release of anxiety or stress. So I'll have to look into the actual.
But I'm neither a
study.
stressed nor an anxious person. Like that is just anybody
But
that
you are
knows me.
intense.
I am intense, yes.
Which
And I
is
like
not
and like
bad.
I can't listen
He's a
to
real circus.
like I can't listen to any music that is chill. Like I can't do it.
Really? Like nothing?
Oh,
Like
really?
nothing
No.
mellow at
Oh my
all?
gosh,
No.
is this why you hate Michael
That is
Bolton?
really fascinating.
Why do I hate Michael Bolton?
Because he's chill.
terrible.
Oh.
He's amazing.
Speaking of Michael Bolton, I
Oh.
told you I was going to tell you a story about
That is probably why. By the
somebody
way.
that we all know here, Matt Pajeski, who is one of the young
Love Matt.
producers at KMOX. He's really, really good. We were doing a show, Amy and I, months ago
Mm-hmm.
at night. And I don't know, like during the break, Amy, we're just sitting here, and Amy out of nowhere says, "You know what? Michael Bolton is really, really good, really,
He's so
really
good.
talented." And Pajeski,
As
just like
if he were
as
expecting it.
if this conversation was happening, and it was like carrying on. He goes, "Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for saying that." Like it had been on his mind that these two love Michael Bolton so much, they've been thinking about it all day, and nobody agrees with them. It's so odd to me that you guys had Michael Bolton on your minds.
When I hadn't listened to Michael Bolton since I had gone to the doctor, because that's when you hear Michael Bolton is in the waiting room, and he is so
Or in the elevator, yeah.
Or in the elevator, he is so good. His range is incredible.
He's really good. Speaking of Michael Bolton, in the movie Office Space.
Tell me how am I supposed to live without you?
I learned earlier today, producer Dave, that these two have never seen Office Space. And Michael Bolton does play a bit of a role in that film.
That's sacrilege. If you haven't Office Space is a great movie.
How have you not seen it?
I can't believe we're talking about
Look,
Michael
he's
Bolton.
like, he's steaming. He's like,
No, I'm not.
Why?
I'm stunned.
Why do I like heavy metal?
I'm just stunned.
It's because he's disobedient.
I am. And I don't like authority.
If you're planning to sell your St. Louis area home, now may be the best time to capture the highest sale value before the market changes. This is Debbie Monterey, and according to industry experts, the real estate market has shifted. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty agrees, and she has options to help every type of home seller because she understands that every situation is different. If you need to sell your home quickly, but you're worried about finding your next home, Gloria has your answers and solutions. Gloria has an instant cash offer program that gives you above market cash offers, no showings, no hassles, and you pick the closing date even up to a year, giving you the cash and time needed to find your next home. Call Gloria Liu and ask her about the instant cash offer guarantees or other options that will help you sell fast and for the most money. Call 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
See the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. Call for an appointment, 314-966-5000.
Energy prices are skyrocketing. Regardless of what you believe is the reason for the skyrocketing prices, it doesn't matter. What does matter, it's crushing us. It's taking money off of all of our tables for food, clothing, entertainment. Life is tough. I'm not looking for anything for free, but this is crazy stuff. Now, that being said, do not overspend on so-called high efficient, energy efficient, or whatever the terminology, anything efficient. Nothing we make, nothing that we have to offer will combat these insane prices. So if you're in the market and your bills are just extremely high because they're failing, call me. It's one easy number. It's in Missouri and Illinois. There's only one number. Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Bart Inman, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX.
An Odyssey station.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
We're all on this planet together. So join Odyssey and find your one thing. Cut up six-pack rings and reduce your use of plastic to help keep it out of our waterways and oceans. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Not all windows are created equal. See things more clearly with an STO Windows Direct window. Compare the difference at STOWindowsDirect.com.
STL Windows Direct.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
Right now, a cloudy sky and 83 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour, a now terminated St. Louis County jail official who also worked as a former county council member's legislative assistant is facing federal wire fraud charges.
At this hour, Anthony Weaver Sr. is making a court appearance. He allegedly came up with a scheme to get grants from the Small Business Relief Program, which was funded with CARES Act money. It was all supposed to be for a businessman with several different businesses in exchange for a part of the proceeds. According to the indictment, Weaver said, quote, "I hope this place is not bugged. That's how Stinger got caught," unquote. Weaver also said he needed names of the companies involved to give his former boss because she made the decision about relief funds. Before being hired for the jail job in 2019, Weaver worked for former county councilwoman Rochelle Walton Gray. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
County Executive Sam Page's spokesman released a statement to KMOX News that reads, in part, because of controls put in place by Page's administration for federal funds distributions, prevented any theft of taxpayer funds. Dr. Bob Onder is withdrawing from the county executive race in St. Charles County against Steve Ellman. In a post, Onder says, after lengthy discussion, reflection, and prayer, my wife Allison and I have concluded that it is not in the best interests of our family that I continue the race. This just in, Dearborg's employees and United Food and Commercial Workers Local 655 have come to an agreement on a new contract. Members will vote on it tomorrow night in Bridgeton. Leadership recommends accepting the contract, which has similar terms to the one accepted by Schnucks workers last month. The government is raising concerns about the potential for domestic violent extremism this year.
The Department of Homeland Security says several factors may worsen the threat of extremist violence inside the U.S. The latest bulletin from the National Terrorism Advisory System cites the looming Supreme Court decision on abortion, the midterm elections, an increase in migrants at the U.S. southern border, and racist shootings like the one in Buffalo that could be used to justify acts of violence against a range of possible targets. The department says calls for violence by domestic extremists directed at democratic institutions, candidates, and election workers will likely increase through the fall. It also warns that nations seeking to weaken the U.S. can be expected to amplify conspiracy theories and fake news in an attempt to divide American society. Jennifer King, Washington.
I'm Stuart McMillan. Armed with training, St. Charles County Police say they are ready to face active shooters.
We call MACTAC training, which is multi-assault counterterrorism action capabilities.
Chief Kurt Friz says the program trains officers to go in instead of waiting for backup.
When Columbine happened, the traditional response was stand by, contain it, and wait for SWAT to come. After that, we law enforcement nationwide realized that was an adequate response.
Friz says every officer in his department has taken the training.
The Jefferson Bank and Trust Business Desk, another headquarters move to D.C.
Defense giant Raytheon Technologies is leaving Massachusetts after over a century. The defense giant will be setting up new headquarters in suburban Washington, D.C. to be close to government decision makers. The maker of Patriot missiles says the move will help it become more agile in supporting its government and commercial aerospace customers. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's up 88 points to 33,004. Emergency vehicles on 6440 westbound before Clayton Avenue. The right lane is closed. A crash on 70 west past Lindbergh. Right lane closed. A stall 44 west at Grand. Right lane blocked. And stall 170 northbound before Airport Road. That's on the right shoulder.
Pretty good Tuesday afternoon around town with a mix of clouds and sunshine. I can't rule out a spot thunder shower, but they're going to be really hard to find. This is a dry day. 82 for the high this afternoon. Remember, the warmest part of the day this time of year is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, a couple of spot showers, thunder showers, mainly late night, 65. Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine with some scattered showers and thunder showers, but expect some dry time. 80 degrees for the high. Clear skies Wednesday night. Thursday, sunny and dry, near 80 once again. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by STL Windows Direct. Clouds and 80 in Florissant, 81 St. Peter's, 83 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
Tuesday on the show on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, Course, Kevin Wheeler with you here. You find us on Twitter at the show KMOX. You can find us on Facebook. Hi, Facebook. Facebook.com/KMOX1120.
How do we look?
I don't know. I think pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, I still have the weird camera angle. I got to get a stand in here or something. Like,
Because everybody can see up your nose.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can see there. But
I-
it's just
I
not,
think you
it's
look
not
at
a, it's not a good spot.
That particular camera angle of you, what I've noticed is that you're the white in your beard
Yeah.
really pops.
Yeah. That's
The little
about the
gray you
only
got.
You know
sign.
what's
It's like
funny?
the only sign you would have that I'm older is that if I don't shave and you can see
Honest-
the little white beard.
Honest to goodness, I have never noticed the white in your beard.
Because usually I don't have it long enough.
I didn't either until the
So you did
camera.
the camera.
Yeah.
Because it's like really close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I leaned
Oh my
into the
goodness,
camera.
I've never noticed that. I do have face blindness though. It's a real thing.
That's interesting.
I
know
don't
what that is.
recognize people like I should. And so if I were at a restaurant with my family, I know my family really well, and they were at Applebee's and I had to walk in and find them, I will scan the faces and all the faces look the same to me. So I panic. So I have a rule that when I walk into a restaurant, the person I'm with has to make themselves very visible by standing up or waving their arms.
Bet you're going to say you don't see color either, huh?
No, I'm not colorblind. Are you?
I know people
colorblind?
who are colorblind.
Are you
Like
a lot
literally.
of guys are
Oh, I'm not.
colorblind.
No. But I know people like that. I don't know. Was it like oranges and yellows and reds? You can't differentiate. Like they're all the same to him.
Yeah, something like my sister was on a date or something, and they were driving to the restaurant, and he said, "Is the bottom light lit up or the top light?" Because he couldn't see the red, yellow, and green, and he went by like which one was lit up, but this one was faded or it was day. I don't remember.
Sounds not fun.
Especially at a traffic light.
Yeah.
You just got to go by which one's on top. Okay, it's the top light. All right, that means red. I got to stop.
Okay, this is a bit more serious here, but you brought up this topic, Ranj, the other day about civil war in the United States. And what's interesting is I had read a book a couple of years ago by David French called Divided We Fall. And in several chapters of this book presented 3 scenarios in which the United States could break into civil war. And I think a lot of people at first, now granted, this was 2019, thought, my goodness, he's exaggerating the situation.
Alarmist.
Being alarmist. Thank you. What I'm looking for. And now more and more people are talking about this. Again, I'm not afraid that it's going to happen tomorrow, but what did you see?
The Southern Poverty Law Center recently did a survey, and they polled a bunch of Americans asking them what their thoughts were on the possibility that something like this does happen. It's not a majority of Americans who believe we are inevitably headed toward a civil war, but the percentage is way, way too high.
Okay.
44% of the country. So we're getting, I mean, that's close to half of the country thinks that we are headed toward a civil war. 53% of Republicans believe this. 39% of Democrats believe this. So that's, I mean, you're talking 40% of Democrats
huge
believe
gap.
it. No, it's really not that much. I mean, 14% difference in the two of them. I don't think that if you would have said this or asked this question to me 10 years ago, and maybe even 6 or 7 years ago, I don't think I would have thought that, yeah, we've got a lot of division here. There are a lot of people with varying beliefs, and a lot of those beliefs are hardened and you can't get through to many, many people. But I never would have thought that we would have had close to half the country believing that we are headed toward a civil war. Just how dangerous of a time is this? I mean, we always talk about, and like you said, Amy, you can go back to any point in our lifetimes, and there were people at that time talking about how dangerous things are. This is a really dangerous part of our history. But this really does actually feel like it's very dangerous.
Yeah, and I think a huge part of that is the political and geographic separation that we have now that we didn't have before. The geographic separation is important because we've never had such clearly defined geographic blue and red areas,
Right.
so that you have ideological silos that are quite large in geographic size. I mean, you look at even the civil rights era in the 1960s, and there was a lot of violence across our country, but people weren't politically and geographically isolated in the way they are right now. So you have these ideological silos, and within those silos, extreme voices are not tempered down by more moderate voices or voices on the other side. And with social media as well, you can
and networks too, and media
networks.
outlets. There
You
are
can-
places you can go to have those beliefs solidified.
Yes, and you can amplify those beliefs. You can find community for those beliefs, but you can also amplify any conflicts or violence that happens even not in your geographic area and say, see this what happened in New York? This is an example of the end of all you hold near and dear in America. And it's this catastrophizing again of the other side, and it's almost like all of those worst emotions are out of control.
Let me give you some numbers to back up what you're talking about. According to this same survey, 63% of Republicans say Democrats are a threat to the country, while 67% of Democrats believe the same about the opposing party. So you're talking 2/3 of each party believe the other side is a threat to the country. And while each side views the other as similarly threatening, Republicans rank, quote, extremists in the Democratic Party as the most pressing threat facing the country, while Democrats believe the top 3 threats in descending order are Putin, Donald Trump, and extremists in the Republican Party.
And those last two, you could almost clump together. Some people would. Right.
That the extremists and Donald Trump maybe
The
are
MAGA movement.
very aligned. But Democrats think that Vladimir Putin is the largest threat to society, while Republicans believe the number one threat is the other party.
Yeah, and you know what the truth is? We're the threat. The call's coming from inside the house, man.
Sure.
I mean,
all of us,
There's just
in a way.
there are just too many people that don't take the time to look at things rationally. Everything's emotion. You know, we don't talk about our opposition as opposition. We talk to they're evil. I mean, there's an entire conspiracy theory out there that way too many people are buying into that are like, this one party, they're demons. They eat babies. I mean, like, this is the craziness that we've gotten to, and people believe this nonsense.
It's absolutely crazy. The thing that I want as a progressive person, you know what I want? I don't want to ruin the country. I want you to have free health care, or at least accessible health care. And I want you to have a good wage. I want you to be able to retire comfortably. Like, those are the things I want for people.
You know what I want? I just want people to think.
This is a quick,
Well, that too.
Just a quick example again of how like we've got amplification in social media. David French, talking to Ezra Klein of Vox, said in 1968 there could have been a mail bomb in Des Moines, Iowa, and if you're growing up in Kentucky, you would never hear of it. But now, if somebody knocks a MAGA hat off a kid's head at Des Moines, the whole country knows about it, talking about how horrible and intolerant the other side is.
You know, there's another thing that maybe we can bring up after the break, unless you want to get into something else. But there was there were a couple of other very alarming numbers in this poll that I think we should probably talk about.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
This time of year, you might notice that the brick in your patio is going astray. Call Morelli. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan for Morelli Tuck Pointing, which has won every award possible in this industry, including the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to companies with exceptional customer service. Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis and beyond for 31 years. Morelli can do completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches, patios, caulking, waterproofing solutions, and much more. Family owned and operated, and a lot of longtime employees that are like family. Call and request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387 or online at MorelliTuckPointing.com. And don't forget to check out their great reviews on the Google and Better Business Bureau websites. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold BMW. The new all-electric BMWs are here, and it proves that you don't have to be ugly to be electric. Come and drive one of these, and you'll kick your Tesla to the curb. That's Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or NewboldBMW.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you've bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Fed rattled the market again this week as interest rates continue as the cost of goods and services.
The cost of goods and services. What does that even mean? And do you really pay attention? But your next trip to the grocery store.
Yo, lady, you seen the price of grapes lately?
Tell me about it.
Costs go up and the power of your monthly income goes down. That's inflation. Steve All at the All Financial Group can help you build guaranteed income in retirement to keep pace with inflation. Call 636-230-8824 today for a complimentary portfolio review. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
I'm skipping the grapes this week.
Me too.
The price of grapes might surprise you. Don't be surprised in retirement. Call 636-230-8824 today.
Investment advisory services offered through All Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuity products offered through Stephen All, Missouri license 8039738.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great! Because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
Local news and information direct to your smart speaker. Just say, play KMOX.
That's the show on KMOX. Amy Marks, Course, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Certainly the song not fitting the theme of the last segment.
No.
That's what I like about you. It's really it's more like you guys probably don't remember. You guys probably don't remember the old it's kind of like a hair bandy type band called Ugly Kid Joe. I do. Had a song called "I Hate Everything About You."
Yes.
That's probably more appropriate for the topic that we had going.
Everything about you.
Yeah,
That song.
Yeah,
I know it.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Is it?
It is for what it is. I mean, it's it's cheesy and goofy, but it was fun.
Well, we all have differing opinions. Sometimes we agree on things. A lot of times we disagree on things.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the both of you very, very much anyway.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say.
That's so nice of you to say.
I also don't believe in assassinating.
Why did we just look at each other when we said that? As soon as Amy and I said that, we both were like, oh, that's nice. We just looked at each other for a second like, should we say it back?
I know.
We like you too, Ranj.
It's like when someone goes, I love you, and you're like, thank you.
You know what?
I feel like we just didn't say I love you back. And we
Ranji, we
should've.
love you too, buddy.
We love
You know what? I don't need this from you. I have enough of this with my own friends, my other friends. Hey, remember yesterday when Kevin, it was 2 days ago when Kevin was not talking to us, but he was talking to his Dave Glover show friends because he likes them better than us.
Those are my high school friends. You guys are my college friends. It's different. It's just different.
Okay, I know, Ron.
So,
you've got more numbers. I just want to say we do love you.
And this one I think is, I don't care. I think this one is, I'm kidding. I love you too. This one I think, I don't know. Like, there's so many different alarming numbers here, but this one stuck out to me. The approval of violence. So we were talking about the numbers that from this Southern Poverty Law Center did a poll, did a survey. 44% of the country believes we are headed toward a civil war. That includes 53% of Democrats and 39% of, or excuse me, 53% of Republicans and 39% of Democrats. One of the other things that they asked people was, do you approve of the assassination of politicians who are harming the country of our democracy? So, do you think it's okay to kill a politician who you believe
is like a U.S. politician?
A U.S. politician.
We're not talking about like Putin.
Well, they may not specify, but I think that qualifies. It could be Vladimir Putin, but it could also be people here at home.
Because I have different feelings about it if it's a dictator.
Let's say U.S. for the
Well,
purpose of this.
it sounds like it was vague because I'm looking at the question right here, and that's all it is. Total approval for assassinating a politician who is harming the country or our democracy.
I mean, it does sound like
it's
you're
open-ended.
talking about, yeah.
It could be Putin. It could be somebody here that you believe is trying to do the same thing domestically.
Okay.
So they broke this down by younger Democrats, older Democrats, younger men, women, Republican men, whatever. Okay. This was the most alarming. There's disapproval across all the spectrums. So young Democratic women and men, and older women and men for both parties don't agree that you should be able to assassinate somebody if they're harming the country. However, this number is way too close for me. Younger Democratic men, 44% of them, 44% of younger Democratic men think it might be okay and maybe necessary to assassinate somebody who is, they believe, harming the country or democracy. 40% of younger Republican women also agree with that. But what was also interesting is that the older people definitely did not believe that. Both Republicans and Democrats, like 90% said no, absolutely not. Do you ever get to do something like that?
It's a terrifying number. My hope is that they misunderstood the question. I don't know how they would misunderstand the question or the way it was posed.
Hopefully that's something you grow out of.
But I do think there's something to be said for especially younger people. You can use a broad brushstroke, but we were just talking about how when you guys were younger, you weren't talking about politics. I think a lot of high schoolers and definitely kids in college really are. Politics has become the end-all, be-all, the existential threat. You're talking about being on the wrong side of history. I mean, everything about policy decisions have become a moral and historically monumental moment where you will be forever condemned or forever vindicated on the decision you make right now. When you talk in those terms, you probably feel morally obligated not to compromise with someone who you think is existentially wrong. And you're also looking at a catastrophe if you don't take action. Somehow people have, and I think as other stabilizing institutions, as we've become, less religious as a country, I think, and it's just happening. It's happening around the world. For whatever reason in America, politics feels like a religion at this point, doesn't it? For a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's worse than it used to be.
It feels more like a cult.
Okay, well, you know what I mean? No,
Well,
I'm not comparing it to like Catholicism or like the Southern Baptist. What I'm saying is it feels like it has become.
It's more your identity.
It's your identity. And if you were to insult a politician who's on your team, or if I were to insult you about a politician on your team, you would take it as a personal attack.
Yes. And I think back to like the 90s when Bill Clinton was president. On SNL, they would make fun of him every night, and everybody laughed about it.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if it were he's the president now, you would have half the country taking offense to it, I believe. And the same thing with George Bush. I think he was always getting made fun of on SNL and shows like that.
Oh, yeah.
I think most people laughed along with it. But
David Letterman would, I think, equally make fun of George Bush and
and we all
John
laughed
Kerry.
at all of them.
Yeah.
But now it's like you really can't do that. But I think there is very clearly this feeling that there's way too much misinformation and disinformation, and they're not exactly the same thing. And it's probably leading to these feelings of my democracy is being taken away from me. I might need to do something about this. And one of the other numbers from this was 49%, half. So we'll talk about half of the Republicans believe the election was fraudulent, rigged, and illegitimate. If that's where our starting point is for a lot of these, for half of that party, half of the people who identify with that party, if the starting point is the last election that you lost or that your candidate lost was stolen from you, where do you go from there? You can't have any honest dissent or disagreement at all if the starting point is you stole the election from us and it was illegitimate.
Yeah, and to me, there are a lot of things that tie into this mentality, but I also feel like one of them, what doesn't get mentioned enough, is a lack of critical thought, where you see something that really fires you up and you feel it like, oh yeah, but you don't think about it, you don't dig any further into it, you don't go, is there anything really to that?
A mob mentality.
Right, you get emotionally worked up rather than thinking, because anytime I see something that I feel like is way too
that doesn't look right. Let me look into it.
Well, also way too good for me. Like I see it, and I'm like,
sure,
okay, that feels too much like what they're targeting me for.
Like it confirms
Absolutely.
it seems to confirm all of your priors perfectly.
Yes, when that happens, you should have an antenna that goes off and goes, maybe dig a little deeper.
Like it's people who just read the headline and nothing else.
Oh my God.
When you don't read the story, because a lot of times the story does not match the headline.
Hard to believe. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, of course. You're listening to the show on KMOX.
Did you hear what they were talking about on the Dave Glover Show?
A best sandwich of all time.
I'm going to go with the Cuban sandwich.
There you go.
As long as it's not too close to the hot ham and cheese.
I'm going to go in general, because there's so many of them, but your favorite iteration of a breakfast sandwich.
Ooh, yeah. Bacon, egg, and cheese. On a bagel.
I don't think I've ever met one. I've met many sandwiches I don't care for. I don't think I've ever met a breakfast sandwich I didn't like.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 2 on KMOX.
Hello, I'm Ben Coons. Are you tired of paying high fees and commissions even when you lose your money? How would you like to never lose your money again due to market risk? Join me for the Retirement and Income Radio Show right here on Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. You can also call me for your free Retirement and Income Kit and my Retirement and Income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
Hey, St. Louis. I want to have an honest conversation about real estate. Never in modern history have we seen a market like this before, and most homes are receiving multiple offers, often well over asking. You can trust that when you hire us, we will market your home correctly and professionally while saving you money. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and I've been a broker for over 18 years and have helped thousands of my clients navigate every type of market, including this one. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Men, when you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE and those little blue pills haven't worked, here's a message from Paramount Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Brown. If I have Cialis or Levitra have let you down, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call 314-720-8081. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 314-720-8081.
This is Corey with Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Shopping around for new HVAC systems is something nobody ever wants on their to-do list. So let's help make things easier with free estimates on new equipment, up to $2,150 on Carrier Cool Cash rebates, and 0% financing for up to 72 months. With over 50 years of award-winning service, you can trust Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling with your new system install. For details and to get in your comfort zone, contact Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling at aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
At 1:30, some clouds and 83 degrees downtown at the Arch. More criminal charges against an area public official. This time, the U.S. Attorney's Office has charged a St. Louis County jail official with 4 counts of wire fraud. Tony Weaver is accused of trying to convince a businessman to apply for COVID relief funds and to split the proceeds. KMOX's Maria Kina reports Weaver was led into federal court about 24 minutes ago in leg and hand shackles. Weaver previously worked for County Councilwoman Rochelle Walton Gray before County Executive Sam Page appointed him to the jail job in 2019. Britain's colorful prime minister insists it's back to business as usual after surviving a no-confidence vote, but is it?
Good morning, Cabinet. Thank you all very much.
Jaunty as ever, Boris Johnson signaling he's back at work running, indeed saving the country. But those dissenting voices...
Boris Johnson should go because he's just unfit for office and he is damaging us both at home and abroad.
Yvette Cooper, an opposition politician, but Monday's vote made it clear that view is now shared by 40% of Johnson's own Conservative Party lawmakers. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Emergency vehicles on 55 north past Broadway on the right shoulder and on 170 southbound before Page with the left lane blocked, and emergency vehicles on 6440 westbound before Clayton Avenue. That's got the right lane closed. Our weather forecast from Dave Murray, high today of 82 degrees, mainly a dry day today, he says. A spot hard to find shower overnight, the low 65. Tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms focus on the afternoon and the early evening tomorrow with a high of 80. It's 83 degrees at the moment downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Using Microsoft Teams only for chat and virtual meetings? You need Centric Training. Centric.com/KMOX. Using Microsoft Teams only for chat and virtual meetings is like using your smartphone only to call people. Centric Training can teach your team the full functionality of Teams and the Microsoft 365 apps, helping to drive productivity and efficiency. Go to Centric.com/KMOX to learn more.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey with a question facing homeowners. Would you sell your current home if you found your dream home? Well, of course you would. And that's why you need to call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has a program that eliminates the worry of selling your current home and having to find your next home with inventory being so low. Gloria is expert at finding listed and unlisted homes that match your specific criteria. Let Gloria know exactly what you're looking for, and she'll find your dream home in the neighborhood of your choice. Once Gloria finds a homeowner who may consider a sale but hasn't put it on the market yet, Gloria will inspect that home, set up a private no obligation showing, and negotiate on your behalf at no charge if you want to make an offer. If your offer is accepted, Gloria Lou will also help you sell your existing home. Learn more by calling Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sundays at 10:15 on Sports Open Line and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show.
I'm excited for not only the club but for the fans. This is a special year for sure.
On KMOX.
Sometimes I feel
Chris Ranji, Amy Markscourse, Kevin Wheeler with you. It's the show on KMOX, at the show KMOX on Twitter, on Facebook. It's facebook.com/KMOX1120. Now, that's not just for us. That's for anybody that would stream on the KMOX Facebook page. But we're doing that video every day along with, obviously, the radio show. You can catch us on 98.7 on the FM dial in addition to AM 1120.
And YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on the KMOX 1120 YouTube page.
Wow.
We're going to
So
be streaming there
YouTubers now?
live. Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Because that'll make us cool with the young people. We're YouTubers. Dane, stop shaking your head.
I've always been pretty cool with the young people.
Our associate producer, Dane McGuire's like, no, you're still not cool.
I'm not listening
We
to
are
Dane.
cool, Dane.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I don't have time for Dane's crap. Uh-oh. I said a bad word, Amy.
Speaking of cool people, well, Chris Myhill, the executive producer, the longtime executive producer of the Charlie Brennan Show. He's been with KMOX for 40 years. This is his last week. So we've got to get Myhill on.
And he took the day off today.
I know.
I mean, what kind of retirement week is that where you're taking vacation?
But
best kind?
He was probably at a rager because I saw Chris Myhill and his band, the Defenders, play at the St. Michael the Archangel Church Festival/Fair last night. And he was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
What does he do in the band?
He plays the guitar.
Okay.
And I've also seen him play in his other band, Johnny and Shorts, which is a great name for a band. It's called Johnny and Shorts because,
as long as they're not cargo shorts.
Well, right. One of their buddies, I guess Johnny or something, I forgot what was going to happen, but somehow he was going to wear shorts, and someone said, no, nobody wants to see Johnny in shorts.
Oh.
That's how they got the name
good.
of the band.
That's a good origin story.
That.
Yeah.
I know. It's pretty good. He can tell the story when he joins us on the show. But as I was watching Chris up on stage, and I thought, if my life depended on it, somebody put me on a stage and I had to perform a talent, I would probably have to die. Like if it was like you have to walk the plank or you have to perform a talent on stage, I don't know what that talent would be. Do you guys have a talent?
Are you saying you don't have talent?
Not the kind of talent that you could play to
perform.
a crowd.
Yeah.
I don't think I have it either.
What would
Honestly,
you,
I
like,
don't.
can you
I don't.
juggle? Can you sing? Can you tap dance?
No.
Can you do a magic trick?
No.
All of the above?
You could do a magic trick?
No, I can't do a magic trick.
So here's what happened. When
I was kidding.
12, we had a talent show, and they were short on talent. So they called and said, can you perform in the talent show? And I didn't have a talent to perform, but because I was me, at 12, I wrote a very dramatic and tragic poem about a ship captain who was going down.
How old?
I was 12.
There's
with
something
his ship.
wrong with you.
He was going down with the ship, and the whole poem was this captain talking about how his life was ending in this storm, and as long as he saved his crew. To this day, I don't know why that's what I went with. And I read the poem. I think the crowd was stunned. It was just a weird thing for me to do, to write this very dramatic poem, and I don't know why I did that. I think
bet
I panicked.
I promise you that the people in the crowd were whispering to each other like, that little girl's got problems. Something wrong with that girl.
I wish I could find the poem.
I do too.
I mean, it was handwritten. Anyway, what would you do right now? Wheels, you have to perform on stage, or you are going to walk the plank.
I mean, I could do I wouldn't do stand-up comedy because I don't think I have that skill.
No.
Like I can be funny in different settings, but not that way. That's a hard thing to do. That's a different thing. I can't sing for anything. I can't dance. I could do, so maybe I would do something stupid like a reenactment of the old Chris Farley show and just bring random people on stage and I would play the role of Farley in that. Like, you remember that time and you were in the Beatles?
I don't know.
That's cool.
Is that a talent?
Actually, what I would probably try to do, no joke, I would probably try to work the crowd.
Like in what way?
Talk to the people in the crowd, see if they admit to anything weird, try to make fun of that, see if we could turn that into a bit. It would probably fail, but that would probably be the way I go. That's how I do things with friends. Like we just kind of pick on each other, and we do that with the three of us.
How much
So I'd
time?
probably expand that to the group.
You probably could. How much time do we have to write material? Can we write material?
No, you've got to
like
go
right
now.
Oh, like right
Some
now?
pirates. You're captured by pirates, and they're like, "Listen, we're having a talent show."
Why pirates?
Because they have to walk.
They're the ones
plank.
with the planks.
You have to walk the plank. Who
You
else
gotta-
walks the plank other than pirates?
I didn't think Ron would go anywhere near a boat.
Well,
hopefully I'm not on a big boat
but the point
because
is,
there's no planks on little boats.
listen, you're getting caught up in the pirates, and they're not the main point of this question. But the pirates are having a talent show, and
Okay.
you have to either walk the plank or perform a talent. What is your talent?
I don't have anything. I'm more interested in the other talent show people at this pirate
You
talent
have to
show.
choose though.
So how is
So
it
I
that
probably, I think I would. Okay,
none
I'll
of
do.
us have any talent? Is that why we're on
I'll
the
tell
show?
jokes. I'll tell some jokes. I
Okay.
can't tell them here because they're all off color and we have regulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Amy wouldn't approve anyway because she said the word crap and everything almost went to heck because she said crap
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
heck.
That You would also have to be, though, like if the way you're describing it is you're almost like a prisoner. Like that would not be very.
That's exactly what
conducive.
you are.
Right. But if it was more of a thing like you're at an event and like a bunch of people canceled and you're like, hey, we really need you to do this. Like, would karaoke be an option? Because everybody can be terrible at karaoke, and that's kind of funny. So I might do that too.
No, nobody goes to a talent show for karaoke.
I'm just saying that you got to do something.
What song would you karaoke?
Oh God, I don't know. Something I could
I
scream
cannot
to.
believe how unprepared you are for this scenario.
I can't believe how untalented we all are.
Yeah. Well, no, they're just talents are
Ron,
different.
A lot of people can. A lot of people can believe it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, like stage talent is one thing. Then like being able to do something else, like write or talk. You know, I mean, you can't.
My talent, ladies and gentlemen, is creating a very clean first draft. That's what I can do.
You would see that would be your talent. You would just Amy would just be up on stage at a desk writing quietly to herself.
Well, that's also what I would do
for
if I
hours
were
and hours.
stranded on an island. Like, my sister is incredibly resourceful. She's creative. She's smart. She understands common sense, how to create things. So if we were stranded on an island, she's the person that would have like a shelter made with curtains that somehow we're coordinating, also build a radio, get the plane working again. I would just be sitting on a log and you'd have a poem next to my dead body about how I died.
That'd be the rest of
I'd
us,
probably
too.
invent a sport in that scenario.
I'll tell you what
kind
though,
of game can I make?
Hey, I've watched a lot of Survivor, man. I bet I can make it on an island by myself for like 6 days. I think I could do it.
It's all about the temperature.
It is, right.
Yeah.
Like if we, a reasonable temperature.
You take a lot of fun hypotheticals and make them not fun.
What'd I do there?
Well, you're like, well, it depends on the temperature.
No,
well,
like if
why
it's
are the
100 degrees
pirates
and you got no drinking
why
water,
are the
you're not going to
pirates
last 6 days.
having a talent show?
Yeah.
You could find water in the desert.
You said on an island.
Oh, yeah. It's a desert island.
Actually, I figured out what I would do. I would rap.
Uh-oh.
I'd start my own rap battle.
Oh, I don't think that'd be very good.
Those others,
But I'd be rooting for you.
You should. Well, I would be battling myself, so I'm going to win.
Right up until the moment you're walking down the plank.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Mark Cox here. Join me as we head to enchanting Germany to see fairy tale castles like Neuschwanstein and picturesque Bavarian villages, medieval Munich, the world-famous Hofbrauhaus, even Mozart's Salzburg in Austria, too. Join me this fall, $49.49. That includes your airfare. Call 888-733-9494 or go online today to conservativetours.com. That's conservativetours.com.
Donate your car to Goodwill and get 4 free tickets to Six Flags. Ride the greats like the Screaming Eagle or hang out at Hurricane Harbor. Donating a car to Goodwill is easy. Towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt. For more information or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Six Flags. Hurry while supplies last. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
For garage door repair, St. Louis calls the real overhead door company of St. Louis. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones who've been here since 1926. Others try to copy the name, but they cannot match the level of service. The red ribbon means 94 years of trust and loyalty from St. Louis homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you've got the genuine, the original overhead door company of St. Louis. Call 314-781-5200.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, 314-946-9999. We also are real estate agents, and a lot of times when people call, they want options, retail or wholesale directly to me. Well, we are listing property as real estate agents. So if you want to sell your house and you're not sure which route you want to go, we can provide you an option when you're selling. Clayman Group is where you can go. 314-946-9999. Call today so we can talk about options.
Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. The doctors' doctors. They've treated more doctors than any other practice in St. Louis.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Paramount Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Brown. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Paramount Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in your neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's premier James Hardy and Pella window expert. Add curb appeal and value to your home by calling Banner Construction 314-569-1050.
Members of Children's Miracle Network hospitals treat more than 10 million children each year. Your local member hospital ensures that every child receives the best possible care. Show your support at cmnhospitals.org because kids can't wait. Visit cmnhospitals.org.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Make a difference in the lives of people with disabilities. Become a direct support professional at Community Living, starting at $18 an hour. Go to communitylivingmo.org/careers.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 314-441-4444. Kevin, Amy, and Chris now.
Best friends together.
Dave Glover at 2 on KMOX.
All right, back in on the show. You know that three good friends thing that we just played
That's
there?
us.
You know what? Why didn't we call our show the Wolf Pack?
Because it's dumb.
You know what? That's probably the right reason. Just like every other name that we rejected. They were all dumb.
I honest to God wasn't expecting you to say anything funny. I think I almost like had a stroke just now. Like something in my head almost popped because you said that was really, really funny.
That's
because
brilliant.
It's dumb. Sorry, Kevin. Your idea is stupid.
I wasn't being serious.
Amy.
I didn't be like, hey, you know what? Let's go to the Wolf Pack on KMOX.
Amy just called you stupid. And
I mean,
I
that's
don't
cool.
I
That's,
don't
an accurate statement.
I don't agree with her. I think that's not very nice. I got to ask you guys a question. Okay. I did something I think courageous.
Congratulations.
What are you laughing about?
Well,
I did something that I think is it's as brave as anything I can think of another person doing.
Okay.
I had bought a salmon fillet uncooked probably about Friday. I think it was Friday. And it was shrink wrapped.
Okay.
And for some reason I was thinking I thought it said it was good until the 8th. It is right now June 7th.
Right.
So I was waiting.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I went to cook it last night. It said June 4th was not the sell by date, but the use by date. And I went to Twitter and I asked people, I'm cooking salmon right now. The use by date was 2 days ago. How ill am I going to get? Because I'm going to eat this thing.
It's 2 days.
2 days. And it's fish.
By.
You don't mess around with fish. Like
Right.
beef is one thing, fish is another. And people are like, how slimy is it? I was like, it's pretty slimy.
Was
Does
it
it stink?
slimy?
Kinda.
See, I've asked a fish question before. Like the salmon was a little old. And the question is if the salmon's slimy.
It was kind of slimy.
Oh, that's not good.
But I cooked it and it's probably 20 hours later. I'm doing okay. All right. So like nothing
you got
has happened.
lucky is what you did.
Did I get lucky?
Yeah, if it's slimy, I think that's the sign
It didn't
that
stink
it's
though.
turned a corner.
Well, where are you guys on how past a sell by or a use by date you'll
Depends
go?
on the item.
Yes, exactly.
So,
okay.
so believe it or not,
100% depends.
eggs, I kid you not. I will eat eggs 3 weeks past the sell by
I think
date.
that's okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
I agree with that.
I mean, they're in their own little container.
Well, yeah. And I've always heard too.
Well, in some countries they don't even put them in the fridge because they come out naturally with some sort of coating.
Yeah, but you can't take our eggs that you buy at the grocery store
And do
because they've
that.
been washed off.
Right.
and all that.
That's what I'm saying is like they naturally come out with a coating that people in other countries don't take
And
off, but we
also,
do.
Here's what I've heard. Unlike the salmon, which it's subjective. Like how slimy is it? How fishy does it smell? With eggs, apparently you know a bad egg when it's a bad egg.
Yeah, you crack it open, you're going to know
And you
real
know right
quick.
away.
Yeah. And don't they float or something? Like there's something about
heard
eggs
something
that
about
if they're rotten, they'll float or they'll sink. It's one of the two.
I think they
But I don't
float.
know. Yeah, you
We're
put them
just
in
throwing
water.
stuff out
no,
there.
I
Maybe
swear
it
that this is
sinks,
a
maybe it floats.
No, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Milk.
It's like a witch, right?
Yeah.
You throw
Do
the witch
witches
in the
float?
water. Do they sink or do they float? If they sink, well, then they weren't a witch. But if they float, then they're a witch. Either way, you're dead.
Because a witch?
Okay, I just have to say this real quick. It's not the point, but I'm amazed at old men who can swim laps in the pool. Because they float. I'm kidding. Like they will do one stroke and then the next arm goes and there's like 15 seconds in between like their freestyle stroke and they don't sink.
It's because they're made of wood.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Well, we were talking about floating.
I don't
if
know.
you float your witch, I'm amazed at how slowly old men can swim laps.
And what else floats? A duck.
You know what? I was thinking about ducks the other day. No, I wasn't.
No, yeah. Okay. So I went to Twitter and I told you I asked my Twitter friends. I will tell you this: people are just really unhelpful on Twitter. They're just not.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
So are the responses
it's
a
just
little graphic?
Yeah, pictures of things exploding. It's just not good.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys,
I'm
help
not gonna
me
lie.
out
I had a
here.
bad experience with fish in Florida a few years ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, like
And that's where it's supposed to be fresh.
We had a big no. We had a big party.
Oh, you're in Orlando.
Cooked it up nice, but left it out all afternoon, like because it was a food buffet thing that we made the food, but we laid it all out there and left everything out there while people were talking and eating and then I ate some later on.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It was bad.
Was it bad?
Really?
I mean, bad.
So,
like,
have you been able to go back to seafood since?
oh,
Because-
I still love seafood.
Okay, yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I got.
It wasn't
sick-
the seafood; it was the left out part.
Well, all right. So there were actually two.
But I mean, it was bad.
Well, I believe that. I had one big salmon fillet, and I'm like, well, I guess I better cut it into half, and then cook them both. And I did. And the second one, I don't like to put things in the fridge when they're still hot. Because
like a religion. Why?
No, I just feel like I've heard and this is one of those things that I need to probably confirm. I feel like I've heard you're supposed to wait for it to cool down a little bit before you put it in the fridge. Most things. So I did, but then I forgot. And it was out for about 45 minutes or an hour. Is it still okay?
Oh,
this is the cooked, if it were cooked half of the salmon.
Say, if it were something that you were cooking on time, not 2 days late, I'd say, yeah, it's probably fine.
I don't know.
But I don't know about the whole combo of the whole 2 days past the use by date.
I'm pretty nervous.
Yeah, I would be nervous. I wouldn't eat it.
Do you have no other food?
Yeah, no, I got other
Is this
food.
all you have?
I didn't want it to go to waste because that poor fish died for nothing then.
But here's what I think. As it's leaving you, wouldn't you then think, you know what, I should have let it go to waste? It's not worth getting sick.
I'm not going to get. So you're right. I'm going to let it go.
I think you should try it,
speaking,
really.
Well, that's because you're a jerk. You're like my Twitter friends.
I mean, there's only one way to know. And God, you don't want to waste that fish life.
The knowledge, I got to know.
I did drink milk and it was chunky.
That's
really not good.
I know.
At all. But isn't that cottage cheese, basically?
You know what? That's what's interesting. It's like yogurt, sour cream, cottage cheese, bad milk. Where does bad milk come in? How is it not just a different dairy product?
I don't know.
Point?
That's a great question. One of my roommates, my old roommates, his dad used to be an executive for a dairy company, and he was like, "Those dates, don't worry about those. Like your stuff's probably good for another week or two past."
Yeah,
now, and I'm telling you this to the KMOX listener at your own risk. I'm not saying, "Hey, go for it," but I'm saying that a lot of times the date isn't necessarily a hard date and you have to have it before then. And if it's like a day or two after you need to throw it out, it's not necessarily always true.
It's kind of like the age of the figure skaters. It's just an arbitrary number.
Wow.
By the way, yogurt's great forever.
Random thoughts.
Like it is good forever.
Yeah.
You'll never get sick on yogurt.
That's
also not
that's
true.
A hell of a finish
That's
right
also
there.
not true. Don't listen to me.
Chris Ranji is going to go eat bad fish. Amy Marks, of course, Kevin Wheeler with you here. DGS is coming up after the news on KMOX.
Soaring inflation, rising interest rates, stock market volatility, and higher taxes. How will these unprecedented challenges impact you and your retirement? Find out in a one-night adult education class, Retirement 101. It's taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects, one of the largest advisory firms in St.